Welcome to another episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Shea.
I'm Ruby.
And together we are a father and daughter duo journeying through the Pokemon series of video games, the Pokemon anime, and the Pokemon Adventures Manga. And this week we conclude our trilogy of episodes featuring
Flame,
as we work our way through the rest of Volume 12 of the Pokemon Adventures Manga, and the last 6 episodes that bring us to the Blackthorn City Gym and just a little beyond. But before we dive into all of that, let's catch up on what's going on. Anything new with you, Ruby?
I've been reading a new book series. It's The Hunger Games.
That's not a new book series.
Oh, well, for me. I've been reading a new book for me. It's not new. So far, I've made it through the first book. I'm starting the second book.
And when did you start the first book? It wasn't that long ago, was it?
Not yesterday, but the day before.
You say you're enjoying it, but from my understanding, you've been really frustrated with the beginning of the second book already.
Well, they skipped so much. And yeah, I'm just waiting for it to turn out.
Okay. So, on my end, well, recently in Pokemon Go, a new Pokemon has showed up. It's Applin. And I know on my way home, I caught a couple of those. I used a mossy lure on a Pokestop and stayed there for a little bit because I had to wait for something else anyway. And that causes apples to pop up near the Pokestop. And if you click on them, you might just get the apple, or you will fight an Applin or like a Sunkern or something else.
fight or catch?
Well, catch or whatever. Sorry. I guess there's no battling for that, for catching Pokemon. But I got a few Applin, but to evolve them, you need 200 candy. So they're not 400, but they're still high. But you also need 20 of the right kind of apple, because Applin has a branched evolution. So if you want to go one direction, you need 20 of one kind of apple, and if you want the other one, you need 20 of the other kind of apple. And so far, the only way I know how to get the apples is by the mossy lure at a Pokestop, or through the rewards of like the timed research. But that's like one apple of each kind. So, so that one's gonna be tricky to get to the evolutions of. But excited to have new Pokemon again. I like. There's been a lot of new Pokemon lately. So
Nice.
And then we recently celebrated a birthday. One of the kids is hit the double digits, so he was excited about that. Got to spend the night over at friends and everything. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but therapy's back in session for a 3-year-old, doing pool therapy and stuff, and his legs are getting even stronger. He's been purposely standing up. I mean, he usually needs something to help him get up, but he's purposely been standing a lot lately, and there's been a couple times where he's standing independently, at least for a few seconds, without holding on to anything.
Nice.
So that's very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And we have vacation coming up.
Oh, yeah!
So we've been cramming in some episode recordings and watchings and everything so that we can have everything all prepared for when we disappear for like 5 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to the beach, so I'm super excited.
Ooh, with the ocean.
Yeah, not a lake beach, an ocean beach. All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into the manga then.
Yeah.
We'll start off with Adventure 152. Buzz off, Butterfree.
But Butterfree don't buzz. It's float like a Butterfree. What is the...
Beedrill?
Beedrill. Sting like a Beedrill. that makes more sense because it's a Pokemon world.
Yes. So, like, last time we left off, Misty had just gotten Suicune, and we had the gym leaders find out that they're going to be an exhibition match at the tournament where the gym leaders from each region are going to battle each other. So, Suicune has a partner, and soon Entei and Raikou will choose partners as well. But first, we're going to go back in time a few weeks to see how these 3 Pokemon were awakened. When the Earth sunk in Ecruteak City, the 3 awakened and communicated that the Tin Tower was desecrated and Ho-Oh will return to punish those who did it. So the 3 of them need to find humans to ally themselves with to repay a debt of 150 years. Which, in the game, we found out 150 years ago, is when the tower burned from a lightning strike.
And when they got resurrected.
Yes. Then we see Jasmine leading the citizens of Ecruteak in their rebuilding efforts of the town and the tower. Yellow and Fisherman arrive on Butterfree wings. They speak with Jasmine and learn Morty is away on a mission, and that his instructions were to make the tower a priority in hopes of quelling the anger of the tower's master, Ho-Oh. She explains that it is where Ho-Oh roosts, and before more can be mentioned, someone shows up and says the burned tower is burning again. Yellow flies around with Butterfree and uses Omni to work on putting out the flames, but then she falls into a rock and vanishes inside it. There she is thanked by the 3 legendary beasts, as she has broken their chains and opened the way, and so the 3 leave. When Yellow is found by Jasmine and Fisherman, Jasmine explains the legend of the towers. 150 years ago, a fire destroyed one of the 2 towers, and in those flames, 3 nameless Pokemon died. Then a rainbow-colored Pokemon appeared, and resurrected those 3 Pokemon into the 3 legendary beasts. And now I have a theory, actually, based off the games, since I had to fight a Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon.
Oh.
I wonder if those were the 3 Pokemon that died.
I don't think so, because they have a silhouette and they look small.
Oh, they do in the manga, don't they? Have a silhouette. I forgot about that.
Maybe, but it's a good idea, but they just look small.
Sure.
They were younger back then. They weren't 150 years old back then.
Well, our Ruby's and I theory is that Raikou, Entei, and Suicune weren't originally... That's not what they originally looked like as Pokemon. They were something else, like Pidgeys or something, random, I don't know what. And they were just random Pokemon that died in the fire, that when they got resurrected, they were gifted with a legendary status and became these new creatures. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Anyway, so we move on to Adventure 153. Oh, it's Ho-Oh.
Oh, it's magic.
Actually, it's oh, it's magic.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, it's magic.
Oh, it's magic? Oh, it's magic.
2 metal doors of a cell slam shut, and we see 3 Team Rocket grunts chained up on a wall. The 2 Team Rocket executives we met in Ecruteak before are there and talking to the grunts, who are Ken, Al, and Harry, the ones defeated by Yusin. The executives decide they need to be punished since they even had the clear bell and still let Suicune escape. The clear bell that Yusin found on them and took. Then a part of the floor opens up.
Wait.
Oop.
Misty caught Suicune.
So
now Yusuin's whole journey is for nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't realize that. And that's interesting to think about.
So then a part of the floor opens up, and out, rising up from it, is Masked Man, the leader of Team Rocket. He coats at least one of the grunts in ice. Then one of the grunts asks who he is, and an executive says he is the Mask of Ice, a master of freezing powers and also known as the Masked Man. Masked Man says he doesn't understand how Team Rocket has survived, as they seem pathetic. That is, except for the executives, Sham and Carl. But that's because Masked Man trained them himself, and I'm guessing that this means they were some of the kidnapped children, just like Silver and Green.
Oh.
Because he trained his own new generation of Team Rocket, basically. Apparently, chasing Suicune is no longer important, as it is time to focus on the rebirth of Team Rocket. They will make their return known at the Indigo Plateau tournament that begins tomorrow. At the Indigo League, a junior trainer and a super nerd trainer are practicing outside before completing their registration. Then we get an announcement that things are beginning, and covering the opening ceremonies is DJ Mary on Goldenrod Radio. The director announces that 700 of the 20,000 applicants were selected for the preliminaries, and things are going to start off with the Gym Leader Exhibition. Meanwhile, Masked Man is flying on his Delibird and going by Ecruteak. He says many know the glowing of the Ho-Oh statue is a signal that Ho-Oh is coming back to its nest soon. But Masked Man knows that it will be that very day, and he can know because he is the one who carved that statue.
That part was really surprising to me.
Yeah. He shoots up above the clouds, and there is Ho-Oh. Masked Man says it has been 9 years since they last met, and my dream will at last come true. At last, you will be my servant again. as I launch my assault on Indigo Plateau.
I was surprised also when he said, again. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
I know, I put exclamation points right after that on my thing. It's like, wait, what? What are we talking about?
How? Like,
Who is Masked Man?
again?
Right? And then our final chapter for this volume, Adventure 154. Yikes, it's Yanma. Gold and Crystal have another spat as Gold is kind of a jerk to her.
So, Gold is hungry, and so he gets two sweet potatoes out of his backpack and gives one to Crystal. And then she's like, "This sweet potato is barely cooked." And he's like, "You're not prissy, you're picky too." And then he has Expo basically flamethrower, and she's like, and then he's like, "Oh, I guess Expo got all the carrot ate away. Oh well, whatever." And then Crystal's like, "Whatever? You nearly cooked me!"
Yep. And they arrive at the Indigo Plateau. They enter, but he does so on his scooter and rushes right by everyone, leaving Crystal to pay for them both. Someone mentions Gold being her boyfriend, which she is not so keen on. Then there are Yanma in the building that got loose and flew up with a baby. So Gold pulls a Pokeball trick to distract the Yanma and rescues the baby with Pseudo Wudo. Chris gets after Gold because, while that was a good thing that he rescued the baby, they're supposed to be keeping a low profile, and so he should have been more subtle about it. Oak contacts Chris and reminds them to lay low, and apparently they are there to find Masked Man. In the exhibition stadium, the battlefield opens up, and the mag train comes in. It has just been put into service, and after the tournament, it will be able for use to get from Kanto to Johto. It made a special stop at the stadium for the event, as it drops off the 16 gym leaders. They all arrive and release a Pokemon, and we get a pretty cool splash page of all of them with their chosen Pokemon. Actually, I take that back. We don't see Jasmine's or Blue's Pokemon, I don't think. But the others are Surge with Raichu, Misty with Starmie, Sabrina with either Kadabra or Alakazam, Janine with Ariados, Brock with Onix, Claire with Dragonair, Faulkner with Skarmory, Chuck with a Mankey or Primeape, Erica with Bellossom, Blaine with Rapidash, Bugsy with Heracross, Whitney with Miltank, Price with Swinub, and Morty with Misdreavus. Then all the gym leaders are introduced with their speciality. First, the Johto group, with Price being the last one mentioned as he was chosen for the Johto captain. Then we get the Kanto group with Erica last, as she was chosen as their captain. The leaders will wage 8 separate battles, with the captains being the last ones and facing off one another. Whichever side has the most victories will be the winners. The first 7 matches are chosen by a lot. Everyone picks an apricorn out of a box, and those that match in color will be opponents. And those are Blaine and Claire, Surge and Morty, who had actually met before.
Yeah, didn't Surge use Morty to locate Red and Silver?
Gold and Silver, yes.
Yes. Ah!
Blue and Chuck. Blue trained under Chuck, as we learned in previous stuff. Like he was the master or whatever. So, more coincidences abound. Or is it destiny, like with the spoons? And then Brock and Jasmine, Whitney and Misty, Faulkner and Janine, and Bugsy and Sabrina.
I like how Whitney's thinking, "I'm not going to lose to you," and is all like aggressive looking with her big milk tank behind her. And then Misty's like, "What's with her?"
Yeah.
And then the next panel, "Pleasure to meet you." "Pleasure's all mine."
Yup. And then when the gym leaders leave the stage, the director looks out into the audience knowing that the trainers Oak sent are out there somewhere. And apparently the real reason for the ceremony and the match is to find the evil lurking in the shadows. Gold says that out of those 16 leaders, the noblest reps of Kanto and Johto, one of them is their true opponent. To be continued.
Pum, pum, pum.
And so, with all of that said, and we're about to try to dive into the Gym Leader tournament and everything to find out which gym leader is actually the masked man. Does anybody have any theories currently about who is the masked man?
Blue, because he never shows us his face. His hair is constantly casting a shadow, so we never see his actual face.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Well, I don't know for sure who it might be, but I don't think that it is any of the Kanto leaders.
Okay.
Right? Who's the 8 Kanto leaders? It's not Misty. It's not Brock.
Let's see. Let's go in order. So there's Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge.
And Lieutenant Surge fought, so there's no way it's him.
Sure. After Lieutenant Surge, it is Erica. And then we have... It was Koga, but now it's that new girl, Janine.
Oh, Janine?
Then there's...
No, it's not Janine.
And then there's Sabrina.
Yeah, not Sabrina.
Who also used to be Rocket. And there is Blaine and Blue. He took over from Giovanni.
Blaine might be it. I'm not as positive on him.
The one with the Mewtwo and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so. But there's a chance. Let's see. I don't think it's Whitney. No. She's one of their leaders. I don't think it's Bugsy. I don't think it's Faulkner. Who else is over there? Jeez.
So the first one is Faulkner, then it's Bugsy, then it's Whitney, then it's Morty.
Morty. No.
And then you kind of have a choice between Price and Chuck, and then there's Jasmine and Claire.
So Claire, Morty, and what was the other one in Kanto that I was suspicious of?
Blaine or Janine?
Blaine, Janine. It could be one of them. I'm not sure.
Sure.
I won't be surprised by too many people. If it's No, it wouldn't be Blaine because he was also part of like a special association thing. I don't think it would be him.
He used to be part of Team Rocket. What do you mean by special association?
With like a couple of the good Kanto gym leaders joined together.
Oh, yeah,
Erica.
he joined the good Kanto leaders because he betrayed Team Rocket, yeah.
I doubt it's him, but it could be.
Sure.
I would be shocked if it's Erica, Misty, or Brock.
Sure.
I would be shocked if it was Price, the ice gym leader.
Okay.
Because he's not able to walk, I believe, very well. Cause
he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't be too surprised by who it was. Who it is, probably.
Unless, because he mastered the art of moving ice, basically, like...
Yep.
So, he could just have his Pokemon having him walk around.
What?
He could be using his Pokemon to, like, basically freeze his legs and have him walk around.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like, having his Pokemon move his legs.
I don't
Sure.
think I'll be too surprised on who it is, but it could be anybody.
Unless it's like Erica or something.
Yeah, one of those three.
Sure.
For sure.
Okay. Cool. All right, and now let's move on to the anime. For our last 6 episodes to take us through the Blackthorn City Gym. So we start with episode 253, or season 5, episode 42. Beauty is skin deep. Or Ibuki to Minryu. Or Ibuki and Mini Ryu. Which we've learned before that Mini Ryu is Dratini, because he's a mini dragon, because Ryu is dragon.
So mini is like mini in Japanese?
They're probably using like katakana for mini or something, maybe.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense.
I don't know for sure, I guess, but anyway. The only time we've actually had an episode or any anime with Dratini, though, I think, was that banned episode of the first season where they're in the Safari Zone finally. Because of the guns.
Oh, so this is the first time with a Dratini.
Correct.
Nice.
So Ash and Co. are closing in on Blackthorn, and by the lake, they come across a Dratini! And the lake is the lake that they found at the end of Ice Cave, which was also a banned episode that we had to watch in Japanese.
Why again?
Jinx.
Oh, right.
As they draw closer to the Pokemon, a Gyarados pops out of the lake and starts firing at the gang. Pikachu is about to retaliate, but a woman arrives and tells Gyarados to stand down, and then she demands the gang tell her what they want with the Dratini. Turns out that Gyarados is just protecting Dratini, and the woman is...
What?
The
Do you remember who the woman is?
The Blackthorn Gym leader?
Claire?
Claire!
Oh, I forgot.
You're both right.
Yeah.
Brock falls in love with her, and he goes after her and misses, thanks to Dratini suddenly taking off and Claire following. Like he tries to hug her or whatever. Then an old man runs in carrying a bag on his back, trying to shout to Claire that she mustn't go because the day is important. Turns out he is carrying the Dragon Fang, the item that we had to go into the dragon's den to get and prove ourselves.
Which I forgot that we had to go get, and so I was like, ooh, a Dragon Fang.
Yes.
Even though it wasn't like we played one day and played the next day. We played it all straight through.
Yup. That's just how you are. You get distracted. You're like, oh, wait, what was our point again?
And I didn't even run into many Pokemon.
Right?
Except for Dratini.
It was because you had to wait so long that your mind wandered.
Oh.
Because you were waiting for me.
No, because I went and got the Dragon Fang. It's like, ooh, Claire, why is she here?
Oh, that's right. You didn't wait for me. Because you never wait for me. You're always going on ahead.
No, you're the one always going on ahead. Pink ribbon.
Anyway, so he has been carrying the Dragon Fang, and it has been passed down from generation to generation ever since being pulled from a dragon Pokemon that had terrorized the village years ago. Claire is supposed to be performing a ritual on it that day. Then we see Team Rocket lounging on the shore of the lake. Then the Dratini floats by, and Jessie apparently wanted one since she was young.
How long was it ago? Though? How long? How old Art is?
Don't ask Jessie that.
She thinks she's 12 or something.
She's got to be in her 20s.
Yeah. I did the math at one point, and she said she was 12, basically.
Basically. And in the Japanese version, I think it suggests that she's even younger by her line. But Meowth calls her out both times.
Well, that's good.
They try to catch it. So Team Rocket tries to catch the Dratini, but they're stopped by Claire and Gyarados. A quick battle, and Team Rocket is blasting off again! Ding! The old man and the gang catch up to Claire, and the old man begs Claire to come back. It's extra important because the day only comes every 3 years.
Convenient?
I wonder if that's how they decide when to have the water tournament, because that's always once every 3 years, too.
Oh. So maybe it's not convenient. It's just one big convenience.
Or maybe it's something about the Johto region in general. Maybe there's something that was significant for every 3 years, and they all celebrate stuff on that year. I could see that.
I feel like they would have mentioned it, but maybe not.
Well, no, they would. I just can see it being a plausible thing.
Oh.
I don't think they ever bothered to explain it. Anyway, Claire can't leave Dratini right now because it's preparing to shed its skin, and it's completely vulnerable during that time. So Claire follows Dratini, and the others follow her. Ash maturely checks in with Pikachu about it probably being the wrong time to ask for a gym battle. He didn't just jump in and be like, let's battle!
Good job.
He's learning. He's growing up. He'll probably forget about all this in the future.
He's not growing up.
Well, he's growing up in the sense of maturing, not necessarily aging.
But him not being able to age is the reason he forgets things.
I could see that.
That's why he forgot about, the Articunos and stuff like that. It's because he can't age, so he forgets easily. Maybe he has dementia and he's 80 years old.
Dementia! Team Rocket is spying on the group, and Jessie is determined to get the Dratini for herself, and she already is calling it hers. James and Meowth thought they'd sell it or give it to the boss, but Jessie won't hear of it, because she wants it. Mm-hmm. During a stop for lunch, Claire shares some food, and Ash asks for a gym battle after Dratini has shed its skin, which Claire agrees to. So he's like, can I have a gym battle after, this whole Dratini stuff is done?
Very good, very good.
Then the old guy sees the Glacier Badge and says they heard a crazy story about a red Gyarados, which the gang confirms and mention Lance helped save it and everyone. Claire apparently knows Lance, as he had trained for a long time in Blackthorn. Then Claire said she trained Lance, which I think might be different from how the games work out, since, according to Crystal, Lance actually passed the dragon test thing, while Claire still hasn't. And then an old couple that couldn't possibly be Team Rocket arrives. They get close, and then Jessie shoots a net from her cane.
Wait, Jessie, I thought you said it couldn't possibly be Team Rocket.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
She shoots a net from her cane and nabs the Dratini, and then they croak out an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, we're not crotchety and old.
And make it double, because we're youthful and bold.
Afterward, they take off in the balloon with Dratini dangling below. Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon is known as the Water Queen.
No clue.
No guesses?
Nidoqueen?
Sea King's wife.
Honestly, Nidoqueen is not a bad guess, despite not being a water Pokemon. Because it does have Queen in its name, and despite being like a ground Pokemon or whatever, or poison Pokemon, or both, I think it's one of the Pokemon that can still learn Surf.
And then there was that whole episode, too.
The Rhydon one?
Oh.
Oh, my Pokemon are water Pokemon. Find the imposter.
So Claire and the gang rush off to rescue Dratini. In the balloon, Jessie and James congratulate themselves on their performance, and Dratini is angry and starts shaking the whole balloon until it crashes. It then crawls towards the water, even while bound in a net. Jessie stops it, the gang shows up, and a battle begins. During the fight, Pikachu sends in a Thunderbolt. Wobbuffet bounces it back, and it shocks Ash and Pikachu instead, and a stray bolt goes toward Dratini. But Claire jumps in front of it and gets shocked instead. And then we get an evolution! Now, Dragonair is here. Jessie is devastated that her Dratini is gone forever. Dragonair flies into the sky and causes a thunderstorm and blasts Team Rocket. They decide to try and catch the Pokemon again, and this time they can sell it, but they don't stand a chance and are blasting off again! Ding! The storm goes away and Dragonair flies further on, and so they all follow again. By a beautiful waterfall in the moonlight, Claire suddenly changes clothes and performs the ritual for the Dragon Fang. And now Ash and Claire can battle next episode. And our Who's That Pokemon? It's Goldeen! Goldeen. We had an interesting intro and an evolution. And I just gotta say that I love Dragonair.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Or she.
And we're gonna get a lot more awesome Dragonair action in these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they control. I like how it controls the weather and whatnot.
That's part of the reason I love it so much, but it's also just a very pretty Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Not according to Jessie.
Yeah, well, she really wanted that cute little Dratini.
But they're like, I guess Dratini's more cute and Dragonair's more elegant.
I have a shiny Dratini, or I had a shiny Dratini in Pokemon Go, and I evolved it into a Dragonair. I did not evolve it into Dragonite, because it's still pretty as a Dragonair. The color is fun. The color of Dragonite is not. It's like a sickly green or something.
Oh, that's sad.
Instead of the... Well, I mean, it changes total color from the blue Dragonair when it becomes regular Dragonite anyway, so I'm not too surprised it's a totally different color, but Dragonite annoys me.
He's fun sometimes.
Yeah, but it just, like...
He's in the wrong evolution line.
It just doesn't make any sense. Alright, so now it is time to rank it. So let's start with you, Flame.
Jessie was really funny in this episode.
True.
With all her like, oh, Dratini is now gone. Oh, boo-hoo. That's like the only real part I like about it. Besides the weird dragon thing. With the dragon just jumping out of it into the stars.
Oh, I totally forgot about that part.
I'll probably put it above the ice cave and below will the real Professor Oak please stand up.
Alright, well, Ruby, it's your turn to rank this, and it would seem that you have the option of putting it right below Will the Real Oak Please Stand Up, or right above the Ice Cave.
Wait, are there only two in between those?
When I said that, that's the same spot.
So I ranked it for you again? I ranked it for you?
So, what do you think? Do you want it right below Will the Real Oak Please Stand Up, or right above Ice Cave?
Well, here's the thing. I really like both, and it's just so hard to decide. Like, both spots would be so good for it. I think it should go above Ice Cave.
Sounds good.
It was a very difficult decision.
Seemed like it. So then that puts Beauty is Skin Deep as our number 21 out of 42. And then that brings us to Season 5, Episode 43. Fangs for Nothing. Instead of Thanks for Nothing.
Yep.
Or Fusube Jimu no Ryu no Kiba. Or Fusube Gym's Dragon Fang. Hey, it has the town and the gym name in it, so this must be our gym battle like they were planning on having, right?
Must
No.
be.
That's right. It doesn't go as planned. So we had an interesting comment from the narrator during the recap mentioning that Claire trained with Lance instead of training him. So I thought that was kind of a weird change-up since she said she trained him, but the narrator's like they trained together. Which does sound like it would line up with the games a little bit more.
Yeah, it kind of would make sense.
And once the episode starts, we get started with the gym battle in a cathedral-looking gym. Instead of lava, there's a pool of water, and Claire sends out Kingdra to start. And Ash knows it evolves from Seadra amazingly, and so chooses Pikachu for the type advantage. Unfortunately, he learns that dragon types are resistant to electricity. So I thought it was cool that they touch on these things about, the dragon type being resistant and he going for the electric because of water type. But
So the one time he actually chooses the right thing.
well,
doesn't work out.
here's the thing though. Pikachu has hit other things that it shouldn't be able to, for one.
Oh.
And it specifically does work when water is involved to conduct the electricity, like with Onyx.
Yeah.
But this time it doesn't, even though there's water involved. And to make it more annoying is that the water and dragon types just cancel themselves out for electric attacks. It's weak to electric because of water, it's strong to electric because of dragon, so electric actually just does normal damage. So this is they utilize the types wrongly still.
Well, we thought that they might do good, but they didn't. Just shows you can never get your hopes up.
Right.
Well, they say that the dragon type is really strong against electric type, or really resistant.
Doesn't matter. That's not how the game works.
Yeah, the game, but this is the anime.
And they're trying to use game mechanics,
They are.
which is why they mentioned electricity being strong to water and everything,
Yeah, that's just normal mechanics for Pokemon.
which comes from...
Everything comes from the game.
Thank you. While Ash struggles in the battle, we cut to Jessie laying next to a lake and lamenting that her Dratini is gone for good. Then James and Meowth show up with some jelly donuts. They're not. They're not the same thing that they called jelly donuts before, but they're not jelly donuts. Jessie is particularly mad at Claire, and James and Meowth still want to steal Dragonair. Wobbuffet is hanging around as usual, and suddenly 2 blue arm-like things that look Wobbuffet-ish come out of the bushes and steal the plate of jelly donuts.
What could it be?
Wobbuffet...
Just call them rice balls.
They're not this time.
Oh, they aren't?
No.
Oh.
But they're also not jelly donuts.
Well, are they?
I don't remember. Wobbuffet notices the plate of food is missing first, and he seems so confused as he's looking around, trying to find them. Finally, Team Rocket finished their discussion with a plan to steal the Dragon Fang, and they see the food is gone, and blame poor Wobbuffet.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna get blamed. I was like, no, not my precious Wobbuffet.
He's like, but it wasn't me! Part of that reason is because they hear a voice that sounds similar to Wobbuffet that gets their attention. However, it didn't say Wobbuffet. Back to the battle, Ash switches out Pikachu for Noctowl to maybe have better luck. The battle continues and Team Rocket break into wherever the Dragon Fang is kept. And then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon captures food with its tentacles.
Tentacle? Or cruel?
I had a feeling you might guess that, but it is wrong.
Dang it. Oh, wait, is that like a turtle Pokemon?
Turtle?
With the red shell, and a head pops out, and all of its limbs pop out, and all can go back in.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Me neither.
Anyway, Ash continues to struggle in his battle against Kingdra, and Team Rocket uses a mechanical hand to weave through infrared security beams, laser beams or whatever, so they can get to the box with the Dragon Fang. But thanks to Wobbuffet, they accidentally trip the alarm. The match is interrupted between Ash and Claire as they rush outside and see Team Rocket taking off with it. Claire chases on Dragonair, and Ash uses Totodile. Misty sends out Staryu for Brock, and Politoed for her, who sits at the edge of the dock and claps happily in a distracted Pokemon moment. We have a new Pokemon to be distracted.
Nice.
When Team Rocket see they're being chased, they duck into a cave, which is the Dragon's Den. Claire and the gang follow, and if they find their way through the maze of tunnels, they'll find the Dragon Holy Land. Team Rocket find a waterfall, and their boat is smashed as they wash away toward the Dragon Holy Land. They are rescued from death by a friendly Dragonite, stopping them from finishing their normal blasting off line. Then Team Rocket tricks Dragonite that they are the ones protecting the Dragon Fang from Claire and the gang who are trying to steal it. So when they all show up, Dragonite attacks them. Then Dragonite grabs Team Rocket and flies off, helping them get away. We learn that Dragonite was the first Blackthorn Gym Leader's Pokemon, and has been lonely since he's been gone. They plan to get Team Rocket and help Dragonite and rescue the Fang, but then a new threat is soaring down from the sky. A Charizard.
I knew it wasn't a threat right away.
Shh, spoilers. Who's that Pokemon? It's Octillery. It is a red Pokemon, but it's an octopus.
This is the guy I was talking about.
Oh, Shuckle.
Yeah.
And our tally is only a single distracted Pokemon.
That's really weird.
Now to rank it.
I like how they tricked Dragonite that they're protecting it from the other ones and saying that they're the evil ones.
So you like deceit. And...
No, that's not... I just like it whenever a movie does something like that.
No, I thought it was really good. It was frustrating, but it was good that was frustrating. It's like, oh, come on!
Yeah.
You know better than this. I might actually put this one above Will the Real Professor Oak Please Stand Up.
Sure, I'm down with that. Is that your top episode?
No.
Okay.
My top one is Enlighten Up.
Let's see. It was cool that we started getting a gym battle, and then they faked us out with the title, and that they started one, and then gets interrupted. The Dragonite is kind of cool, like he's super friendly and kind. I like that. Unfortunately, tricked, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you like it better than the last episode, Ruby?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, what about A Parent Trapped?
Oh,
Part of the Lugia trilogy.
Yeah, the Lugia. That was a really good one, so I probably liked it less than that one.
Okay. Well, then we'll put it based off of his stuff, because for us, One Trick Pony is actually way below Will the Real Oak Please Stand Up. I think we will just put it right above Beauty is Skin Deep, and right under Will the Real Oak.
Okay.
Because I'm not really sure where I would put this either. I liked it a lot, and the ending gave me chills when Charizard is descending upon the gang like a creepy, dangerous dragon villain.
And they're like, is he friend or foe? Come on, people.
But yeah, I got goosebumps watching that one. I'm like, so that puts Fangs for Nothing as our new number 21 out of 43.
Cool.
Alright, so then that brings us to Season 5, Episode 44. Great Bowls of Fire. Or Kairyu Gekirin Hatsudo. Or Kairyu Use Imperial Rage.
This one, I mean, at least it has 2 exclamation points. The other 2 weren't even worth mentioning with their 1. But at least this one has 2. I mean, I guess. Despicable.
So, it turns out that it is Ash's Charizard that was flying down at them. But not just that. We also have Charla and Lisa in a rockin' reunion.
Yeah, I was really hoping when he came back, he was going to stay with Ash.
Yeah, I think we all were hoping that. Spoilers on that. He does not.
Yeah. I was like, maybe.
But it was really cool to see Charla again and Lisa again and all that, so.
Yeah, that was fun. It seems like Ash's Charizard has a crush on Charla.
Yeah, he's apparently taken to being Charla's bodyguard. Anyway, Brock breaks up the greeting with some flirting, and Misty is babysitting Brock by covering his mouth and pulling him away from Lisa.
And then it turns out that Lisa and Claire know each other.
Yeah, because Lisa brings Charizard out there to train every so often.
Yeah.
The gang explain what happened to Lisa, and we cut to Dragonite flying through the sky with Team Rocket, who are not enjoying the flight at all. And as they fly off into the distance, they have an off-again moment as they say, "Couldn't we fly first class?" Lisa, Claire, and the gang all get prepared to find Dragonite and Team Rocket. Charla and Charizard have hot air balloons to pull now. During the flight, we learn that there's a bunch of beautiful flowers in the Dragon Holy Land that stay in bloom all year round, and it shows just how precious the land is.
Oh, lovely.
This is important just because of what's about to come.
Oh, yeah.
Dragonite has dedicated its life to protecting the Holy Land. Back to Team Rocket, they are being fed by the friendly Dragonite. It collects a bunch of fruit and stuff off the trees. Then Team Rocket see a structure by the lake that could contain valuables, and so they're going to raid it. And this is the Dragon Shrine, just like we had in the Dragon's Den in the game.
Ooh la la.
Well, not just like, but, you know.
Well, a lot different, because there was a lot more land here, it felt like.
Well, right, because the Dragon's Den turns into just a tunnel to the Dragon Holy Land, but also the shrine itself is different.
Yeah.
Inside, they find a gold bowl that has a fire that has never gone out. But when James grabs it,
Is it Moltres fire?
When James grabs it, he's burned, and he tosses it outside, and it begins to burn the flowers all around. Dragonite finds them, and is not happy. He attacks them, and destruction spreads. With the trees and grass on fire, many Pokemon are fleeing, while Dragonite continues to attack Team Rocket. Eventually, Wobbuffet bounces the attack back, and it hits Dragonite pretty good. But he emerges from the flames, angrier than ever. And it's funny, because this Dragonite is a Pokemon that's kind of, like, whimsical in its look, so it doesn't look like a threatening Pokemon most of the time, even though it's supposed to be this big, powerful dragon type. But there's moments, like when it comes out of the flames here and it's angry, it's like, ooh, you are kind of scary.
Yeah. I'd be a little scared to be around you right then.
Yeah. When the nice guys get angry, that's when you need to be scared.
Yeah, because he was so sweet and everything, and then he comes out menacing. It's like, oh, bye.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like that one.
So when Team Rocket is about to be blasted to pieces, Charizard's flamethrower blocks the attack and saves them. And Dragonair starts a storm, and everyone is getting their Pokemon involved to rescue the rest of the Pokemon out there. Put out the fires, and deal with Dragonite. And Dragonair's storm is supposed to help get rid of the flames with all the rain and everything.
Yeah. Which is super cool, Dragonair doing his storm thing.
Absolutely.
Love it so much.
Yeah, Dragonair is pretty cool.
Politoed has a distracted Pokemon moment of clapping again instead of putting out fires for a moment. Then Charizard and Dragonite have a stare down, and we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon flashes its light to communicate.
Is there like a lightning bug Pokemon?
I don't know if there is.
Because that's what lightning bugs do.
I know.
I have no guesses.
Okay. Team Rocket stay with the gang, and the old man gets the Dragon Fang back from them. Claire tries to communicate with Dragonite, but it's too angry, and it nearly kills Claire, but Charizard rescues her. The old man says the Dragonite must be suffering from attack rage, which means they attack so much they get confused and can't stop. Dragonite blows away Dragonair, stopping the rain, and all the Pokemon still around are trying to get through to Dragonite. Like, wake up, man.
Yeah.
An epic battle where Charizard and Dragonair work together to try and stop Dragonite takes place, with like a ton of cool moments of rescues and supposed defeats here and there, with Dragonite almost being defeated and other ones and all that stuff. And Charizard needs to try and keep Dragonite still long enough for Dragonair and Pikachu to perform some stuff. And it still wasn't enough, but then Dragonite's hyper beams get trapped inside a fire spin that Charizard creates, and it finally knocks Dragonite down and snaps him out of his rage. But now the shrine is damaged and all the land around it, and the lake has been heavily damaged too. Team Rocket realize they are in big trouble and take off running, and everybody's about to let them leave, but the Dragon Fang box is empty. Pikachu sends a thunderbolt at them, and they go flying off into the distance. Ding! Ash catches the Fang, and the Pokemon forgive Dragonite, and the bowl of fire is replaced into the shrine. Back in town, Ash and Claire agree to restart their battle in the morning, and Charizard gives Ash a good luck kiss with a flamethrower to the face for another friendly fire. And we see a random blue arm stick out of some bushes nearby, and another cry that is not Wobbuffet. And I say another friendly fire because I think I forgot to mention that there was a friendly fire when we first catch back up with Charizard and everything. He burns Ash pretty much right at the beginning in a friendly greeting.
That makes sense.
So, our Who's That Pokemon? It's Chinchou.
Oh!
We have a Rockin' Reunion with Lisa. We have 2 friendly fire, because Charizard immediately burns Ash's face at the beginning and then again at the end. We have a babysitting Brock. We have an off again. And we have a distracted Pokemon. Now, to rank it.
I ranked it first. So above Enlighten Up. It was a really good episode.
So it's your top episode?
Yeah. Really like when Dragonair or Dragonite snaps and everything.
Spearow shows up.
Bill?
Oh yeah, there is a shot of Spearow amongst the Pokemon that are trying to help take care of things.
Is Spearow her least favorite Pokemon?
Currently. Used to be a Bellsprout, but now she loves Bellsprout. Especially Spoopy.
What?
There's a Bellsprout named Spoopy in the Shuckle episode. It's a pretty cool Pokemon. Anyway, but yes, Spearow, she hates Spearow.
Why?
I don't actually remember why.
Do you?
Oh, I do remember why.
Why?
It's from the games. From headbutting over and over again to try to find specific Pokemon and constantly finding Spearow.
Heracross.
Yeah, looking for Heracross.
And Spearow's like, no, you will not find Heracross.
Okay, I think we've said the name enough today. So that's why it goes below Xatu the Future.
Definitely not. I'm in agreement with Flame. It is a really awesome episode. It was hard to describe all the awesomeness that's going on. So you should all watch it if you haven't seen it. But Dragonair creating the storms, and Charizard facing off against Dragonite, and then both of them working together, and Pikachu getting involved at one point, and this constant back and forth, but also the plot, because Team Rocket are often causing ridiculous problems, right? But this one is a lot more destructive and awful. Because of their lies to Dragonite and getting in near the Dragon Shrine, they're destroying this pristine place where things stay and bloom forever. They're burning it all to the ground and causing Dragonite to help in that because he's so enraged with Team Rocket. And so, their big enemy for most of this is Dragonite, even though he's not necessarily an enemy to the land normally. He's there to protect it. And it was a really cool plot. And made Team Rocket much more despicable than they normally are, I would say. This was a really bad move on their part.
Yeah.
And then I like the two, the flamethrower and the hyper beam combined to take down Dragonite.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, yeah, the episode was really cool and I liked it. The one scene was terrible. But other than that, it was a very, very good episode.
So where would you place it then, Ruby?
What was the mystery's history?
Apparently it was a good episode.
Apparently.
That must be the first of the Lugia episodes. Which also had a Rockin' Reunion.
So, what are we thinking? Let's see. Maybe right above Fly Me to the Moon?
So you want to under Mystery's history?
Yes. I think so.
I will allow that. I do like this one better.
We could put it up there. I like both pretty equally.
Okay. Well, I the only reason I speak up is because you got mad at me last time when there was an episode that I ended up moving to the top with a Pokeball or whatever, because I'm like, this episode was so great.
Yeah, I think, you can put it there.
Yeah, I loved this episode so much. Charizard's return, part of it is the episode prior to it giving me that build-up of him showing up and getting me super excited. But then the fact that it was confirmed that it is Ash's Charizard, Charla was there too, Lisa was there, and then the plot was super awesome, and the battles, as the Pokemon are just fighting to get Dragonite back under control and protect the land and all that stuff it was really cool. I love this episode a lot.
Yes, it was very awesome.
What's your top episode?
Well, our top episode now is Great Bulls of Fire.
Oh wow.
Mystery is History was our number 1. So, Great Bulls of Fire is our new number 1 out of 44.
Ooh la la. Find Me to the Moon. That was like the second episode or something. It still is.
It was the second episode of this season, yes.
And it's like third in our list, so that's
Well,
pretty
it was a
awesome.
lot of fun. I like those Pidgeys and
Budgie
Oliver.
Pidgey. I still say that sometimes, just randomly.
Yep.
What's your bottom episode, I wonder?
Zatu the Future.
What? It sounds like it has time travel. Why is it your bottom?
It doesn't have time travel, and the plot made no sense.
It was so confusing.
What?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I'm wondering if it makes more sense in Japanese, because our translated one, like, there's contradicting statements, and it makes no sense. Alright, Season 5, Episode 45. Better 8 than never. Instead of better late than never.
How is that spelled? 8, like 8?
The number.
Okay, thank you.
Because this is the 8th gym. Fusube Jimu, Saigo no Baji, or Fusube Gym, the final badge.
Ooh la la. Hey, they brought 3 exclamation points.
That's because we're getting the final badge, finally.
Maybe they'll redeem themselves and keep going with exclamation points.
So, after a recap of the events of the previous 2 episodes, we are headed back into the gym for Ash to battle and try and earn his 8th Johto League badge, so he can enter the tournament. Each challenger is allowed 3 Pokemon again, and only Ash can switch them out. Claire starts with Kingdra again, and so he sends in Snorlax. He says he switched out some Pokemon at the center yesterday, which is why he has a Snorlax in his party. Because he wasn't carrying him around before, remember?
Yeah, he eats too much.
Right. Kingdra has a tough time getting through Snorlax's endurance. Lisa brings Charla some food outside and rushes off to go watch the gym match. Snorlax also apparently knows Ice Punch, which is cool.
Wow.
And is the finishing blow after Snorlax lets Kingdra exhaust itself attacking him. And Ice Punch is good because ice is a weakness for Dragon-type Pokemon.
Yes.
In case you didn't know, Flame.
I did not know. I don't know most Pokemon's weaknesses.
Yep.
I just know fire beats grass, grass beats water, water beats fire.
You know the starters.
Exactly.
However, despite him having Ice Punch so he can beat the Dragon-type Pokemon and stuff, it's still inaccurate to the game again. Like with Pikachu, but only this time it's working in Ash's favor. Because Ice is good against Dragon, but not Water. Therefore, the Water Dragon typing makes it just normal.
Oh my.
When Lisa shows
They're
up...
focusing on the dragon type more so than the water type.
Yes, they are. When Lisa shows up, Brock flirts with her again, and Misty is babysitting Brock again with an ear pull. Then we cut to Team Rocket digging a tunnel and singing their motto with an interesting intro.
Dig for treasure.
Dig for pleasure. Prepare for trouble with our bag of tricks. And make it double with a couple of picks.
They don't really finish it, though, but they sort of just drift off and aren't interrupted. So I'm not sure if this is or isn't an irritating interruption.
Well, if they're
It's not.
If they're not interrupted, then I don't think so.
Okay, sounds good.
They just didn't do it, I
Sure.
guess.
So, a sung interesting intro, but not the rest of the motto at all.
I guess.
Turns out they're trying to dig under where the dragon fang will be to steal it again. But they end up under the lake, and the water floods the tunnel and sends Team Rocket off again, as they say they're all washed up again. And they're just washed away, so there's no dinging.
Splish splash.
I'm taking a bath.
What?
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. It's a song.
Oh.
Sounds like a kid's song.
It's not.
It doesn't sound like a kid's song.
Claire's next Pokemon is Gyarados, which is not a dragon Pokemon at all, but a water-flying Pokemon.
With dragon moves.
It does have dragon moves, which it does in the game as well, and I mean, it is one of the Pokemon Lance uses as the Elite Four in Red and Blue, because it is very dragon-like. but it is not a dragon type.
They should have just made it dragon.
A lot of people agree with that statement. In fact, I just recently saw a really funny picture that has like a team of 6 Pokemon on it. And a lot of them look like they could be dragons, like Charizard, I think maybe a Gyarados, and some other types of Pokemon.
Oh.
And there's only one dragon Pokemon in that group, and you know what it is? Applin.
Oh!
The little apple.
The one I disagree with. Wow.
Apple?
Applin.
Who? What?
Applin is a dragon-type Pokemon that looks like a worm inside an apple.
I have to see this.
It's hilarious. Anyway.
That is really funny. Like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But here's your real dragon.
So Snorlax goes down, and then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. The footprints of this Pokemon are poisonous.
I don't know.
Charla is smelling her food, and then something cries out, and 2 blue arms steal all the food. Back to the match. Ash picks Pikachu, which is a great matchup for Gyarados, because Gyarados is super duper weak to electric attacks because it is flying and water.
That's rough.
So it's like a ×4 instead of just a ×2.
Cool.
What's really funny, though, is I don't think it uses Pikachu doesn't even use any electric attacks at the beginning. It's using things like agility and whatever. Anyway. Pikachu ends up running up a hydro pump and zapping Gyarados, which was a really cool moment. I thought, like, when it's blasting the hydro pump and Pikachu's, I think, probably had used agility or something, so it's just, like, running up the splashing of water.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then zaps Gyarados. Then we go back to Team Rocket, where they are using a busted bot Meowthbot to do the digging. And there is a sensor on it detecting the Dragon Fang. They surface, and it was apparently detecting Charla's fangs.
Oh!
Which is also funny, because Charizard is also not a dragon type. It can be considered a dragon, but it is not a dragon type.
Well, like
it is fire and flying.
Like you just said, there was this list of things.
Yes.
Potential dragons.
Charla gets annoyed at Team Rocket and sends them blasting off again!
Ding!
They drop their bags of treats as they do, and it lands in some bushes where a familiar blue hand reaches out and snatches them. So we got 2 sightings of whatever this thing is. Back in the gym, Claire is sending in Dragonair as her last Pokemon. Pikachu is defeated, and so Ash needs to send in his last Pokemon. Who is it? Charizard!
Except, see, when he did this, it get me even more excited that he was going to probably keep it.
Sure. This is why Lisa's still around, because he's still using Charizard. So for the final match, the roof opens up on the gym, which makes sense since Dragonair can call in storms. Dragonair keeps dodging Charizard's flamethrowers by jumping into the water, which just allows Charizard to keep evaporating more and more of the water until it's all gone.
Ooh.
The battle is then taken to the skies, and it's a pretty fun battle. Not as epic as the last episode, but still good.
Oh, yeah.
And in the end, Charizard wins, and Ash earns his final Johto Badge.
Woohoo.
Lisa then leaves, and Charizard goes back with her to the Charisific Valley. And who's that Pokemon? It's Muck.
But Muck doesn't have feet.
Yeah, but I think they mentioned it's like footprints or something before in the show.
What?
Oh.
You mean it's like
Or maybe it was in a
snail print?
Maybe it was a Pokedex entry in Red and Blue.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It's more of a snail print, not a footprint.
So our tallies are Babysitting Brock, an interesting intro, an off again, and a busted bot. Now to rank it.
I really like that Ash was using Charizard again, and Charizard was actually listening. And I really like Snorlax too, so I had 2 of my favorite Pokemon there. And I also really like how Charizard evaporated the water.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah, so that it couldn't hide anymore, and it's like, oh well, we'll just do this.
Yeah, and I liked that Snorlax had Ice Punch, which again wasn't really great for Kingdra technically, but the show allowed it. And Pikachu's battle with Gyarados was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And Team Rocket's antics were funny as they washed themselves out with the lake the first time and then got Charlotte mad at them.
They were like, this machine better find a dragon fang for us. Oh, I guess that is a dragon fang.
A lot of them.
Yeah, just not the ones we're looking for.
Where do you rank it?
I'm actually going to put it right above I Probably Told You So. So, my third one.
So, above I Probably Told You So, below a Lighten Up. Alright, that gives me a section for sure. Let's see. Well, with that, I think... Ooh. Alright, do you think it's better or worse than Same Old Song and Dance, Ruby? That's the Igglybuff episode.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Right?
As soon as you say it, I think of Brock and his little dance, and it's hilarious.
His little dance?
Yeah, when he's singing in place of...
Oh, yeah. That one was funny.
Yeah, it's hard to compare, too, because that's a funny episode, whereas this had some funny moments, but it was a cool episode, so they're hard to compare.
Yeah, it's not like one was funnier or one was cooler. It's like, that one was obviously cooler, that one was obviously funnier.
Right?
I might put it above it, I guess.
Alright, that's kind of where I'm leaning, but I wasn't really sure, so I needed some push. Alright, that makes Better 8 Than Never, number 26 out of 45. 45. Okay, so then that brings us to Season 5, Episode 46, which concludes the Blackthorn series of episodes. And this one's called, Why? Why Not? But why not spelled funny? Or, Sonano Jimu Baji to Sonantsu. Or, Sonano Gym Badges and Sonans.
Ooh, they had 3 exclamation points and a question mark. They are trying to redeem themselves.
So, Ash has all his badges and is super excited to enter the Johto League tournament. But everyone else would like to eat breakfast first, and it turns out the tournament is still 3 months away. We also learn that the competition is called the Johto League Silver Conference, and it takes place in Silvertown at the foot of Mount Silver. You hear that? My game is the star, not yours, Ruby.
That's okay. I'm always the star.
No, see, this proves that I'm the star now.
Oh, your game can be the star, but you need something else to be the star for you, because you can't be the star.
Oh, I'm fighting words. I'm sorry. We have now had a change of hosts. It is now just me, and I'll figure out who the other person is. Maybe it's just me again, because I'm extra starry.
Yeah, you'll lose all your listeners.
Yeah, I probably would. All right. Turns out Ash has to register for the conference separately, and he has to do it where he registered for the league originally, New Barktown. So he's ready to go again, but everyone wants to eat first. Settle down, Ash. Meanwhile, Team Rocket is spying, and Jessie wants to steal the badges. And James and Meowth fail to realize it isn't for selling the badges, but because Jessie wants to enter the tournament, like she wanted to do in Kanto. That's a consistent dream she's had, is to be in those tournaments, but she wants to steal the badges to do so.
Yeah. Just like she wanted to steal the Dragon Knight. No.
The Dratini?
Dratini. For herself, not to give to the boss.
Right. While they all argue about it, Blue Arms sneak in and steal their snacks again. And they blame Wobbuffet again. As the gang set out after eating, they are stopped by news reporters who want to report on Ash's winning the badges. They want to take pictures too, and they need to take his jacket off as it doesn't fit for their pictures. But this is just Team Rocket, and when they take the jacket off of Ash, they send it off to Meowth, who's in the bushes. He replaces the badges with bottle caps.
There, in the bushes!
And then, after they get that all squared away, and their pictures and everything, and they give him back his jacket, Ash is confused because they never asked any questions. He says he was all prepared and everything. And that stops Team Rocket in their tracks. They're shaking as they try really hard to resist the cue to their motto. And the Team Rocket music even starts, but gets warbly as it's being forced to stop as well.
And then he mentions how they went through all that trouble.
And that's it. Team Rocket can't stop themselves and launch into their motto, throwing off their costumes. Then they reveal they stole the badges and then run off. Claire and the gang chase after them. Wobbuffet is wandering all alone to the spot where he is supposed to reunite with Team Rocket. He finds food and fantasizes that if he collects it all, Team Rocket will praise him as he gives them that and still has all the badges protected.
Yeah, he's trying to impress them and make them happy because they don't like him right.
Right. But the other blue Pokemon is spying on him. Wobbuffet fills up the container and, when he's not looking, two little arms snatch up the food again, along with the badges.
Poor Wobbuffet, I feel so bad for him.
Wobbuffet pops into the bushes and has a conversation with the thief, which is... Why not? A future friend! That's who's been lurking around this whole time, because Why Not is not a Johto Pokemon. He comes from the next gen.
Nice. I'm so happy. 2 blue Pokemon.
Yeah. Why Not, Wobbuffet, and... Quagsire.
Now, Why Not's not as high as the rest, but it's a Why Not. Come on.
So then Team Rocket shows up, distracting Wobbuffet, and Why Not gets away. He tries to explain and even draws a picture, and with Meowth's help, they all mistake the picture for a Wooper and go looking for that.
Can't Meowth understand Pokemon tongue?
Well, Wobbuffet doesn't know what the Pokemon is.
Oh.
So he just gives descriptions. Claire says that Ash can get the badges reissued, but Ash wants the ones he actually won, and we get a montage of all his victories. Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. The body of this Pokemon is harder than a diamond.
I want to say like Geodude or somebody in his evolution chain.
You're on the right track, but you're wrong.
Onyx?
Even closer.
Steelix.
There it is. Team Rocket finds a Wooper and try to catch it, and it runs into the woods.
Lost in the woods.
Ash sends in Bayleaf and Noctowl to help him find the badges, and Claire flies around on Dragonair. Bayleaf and Noctowl come across Why Not, struggling to get the case open, and so they help the Pokemon. And then they find the badges are there. They were just trying to help a poor Pokemon that was struggling with something.
That's so nice of them. Like, you be nice and then you get what you want.
Noctowl goes to get Ash, leaving Bayleaf to guard the badges. Bayleaf gets them all nicely secure in a leaf, but then Wooper rushes in and Team Rocket shows up and see the badges. Bayleaf battles and is almost hit with Poison Sting, but Why Not leaps across and its counterattack knocks the sting back. Oh, and we got a Victory Bell distracted Pokemon in that whole segment.
Of course.
Team Rocket gets the badges, but Ash shows up. Team Rocket gets away and flies off in their balloon. Ash has Bayleaf launch Ash at the balloon, and he almost catches the basket, but then falls, and is rescued by Claire and Dragonair. Noctowl picks up Pikachu and flies them toward the balloon, and Pikachu gives them a good Thunderbolt, and sends Team Rocket blasting off again!
Ding!
The badges all start to fall through the sky, and Claire, Ash, and Dragonair, along with Noctowl and Pikachu and Bayleaf, all go to try and catch all the badges. Bayleaf catches 2 of them, but that's still 1 short, because they all catch 1 except for Bayleaf, who gets 2. So they all scatter and look through the woods, and Why Not comes out of the bushes with the last badge. Ash didn't see the Why Not, and it left too quick, riding on the back of a boat going down the river. So, because Why Not just left the badge with Bayleaf and Noctowl, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has all his badges back, but still, nobody, except for Wobbuffet, ever met Why Not.
And Bayleaf and Noctowl.
True. No humans met Why Not. And then it's time to hit the road back to New Barktown, and Brock gets all emotional and dramatic, because he's departing from Claire again, leading Misty to another babysitting Brock as she gets between them and pushes Brock away.
Oh, how rude.
Trivia time!
What?
Sonano and Sonans, which are Why Not and Wobbuffet, because we've had Sonans before, we've seen that, we know that's Wobbuffet, but Sonano is Why Not. Apparently, these are Japanese words that mean really, and that's right.
Oh.
So, in Japanese, when they're talking back and forth, or in our version it said, Wobbuffet. Why? Why not? Wobbuffet. Why? Why not? It's supposed to be Sonano, Sonans. Or, really? That's right. Really? That's right.
What?
That's funny.
Really?
So basically there was their names are a conversation with each other during that scene. So there's it's supposed to be a funny pun-like moment. And we kind of get that with the why not, but it's not quite the same.
No, it's not.
And
It's still funny.
oh yeah, for sure. And our who's that Pokemon? It's Steelix.
Oops. First try.
Yeah. You sound like Batman from Lego Batman. Or from, you sound like Lego Batman from the Lego movie. Alright, and our tallies are a future friend and a distracted Pokemon. Now to rank it.
This was a really funny episode with Why Not Everything. I might actually put it above I Probably Told You So again.
So, better than I Probably Told You So, and it's under Better 8 Than Never.
Yes.
Let's go under and lighten up. This is a sad, sad day.
Better 8 Than Never also went under and Lighten Up.
Oh, okay. I just pretend Enlighten Up's not there.
Exactly, that's what we had to do. That's why I never even brought it up to you last time.
I liked it. It goes... I can't put it above Better 8 Than Never?
You cannot, no.
Okay, well then it'll go right below Better 8 Than Never.
Sounds good. Alright, so then that makes Why Not 27 out of 46. Alright, so we have already caught up to the gym and the badge, and we've finished the whole Blackthorn arc, but we are still doing one more episode to finish out our 3 weeks of 6 episodes apiece in our journey together with Flame. Alright, so we have Season 5, Episode 47, Just Add Water. Or Ryugu Jimu, Mizu no Nakade Batoru da Ze.
Mizu!
So, yeah? What's Mizu?
Water!
Yeah. And we have Jimu again, so we have another gym. Back-to-back gym episodes, practically.
But he already finished all his gyms.
I know. This is Ryugu Gym. Battle in the Water. So, Ash and Co. are headed back to New Barktown and go through a cave that leads them to the coastline, where Claire had directed them. They just need to follow that now to get to New Bark. Misty sends out all her Pokemon to enjoy the water. Psyduck is still scared of the water, though. And this wouldn't be a Psyduck sighting, since she actually sent him out this time.
Yes.
As they follow the shoreline, they see a billboard for a Pokemon synchronized swimming event. Brock rushes ahead, super excited to see all the girls there. Later, Misty reminds Brock that it is a Pokemon swimming event, so there might not be humans at all. They reach a guy sitting at a desk on the beach, and he directs them to a large stadium out on the water where the event will be. Ash and Co. are the only audience members, and Ash wonders if it will be like Cerulean City's gym, which sends Brock fantasizing about Misty's sisters. When the event starts, it is only Pokemon at first, and then a single pair of legs pop out, and immediately, Brock knows something is wrong. He knows they are not a woman's legs. Team Rocket is on a cliff spying on the show and decide they're going to swipe the water Pokemon and have a boss fantasy about bringing them to him. After the show, they talk to the performer, who was also the guy at the desk, and his name is Dorian. He explains that the stadium is also a gym. It's called Coastline Gym, which I'm pretty sure is not in the game. He gives them a tour, and the living quarters and stuff are in underwater rooms, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the whole living area, getting ready area, all that stuff is all underwater.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
Yeah. There he has pictures of himself with Misty's sisters. Dorian has always loved water Pokemon, and he's been to Cerulean a lot and wants his gym to be just like that one. Which is why the swimming performance, too. Currently, it is still only a private gym, though. Misty wonders if her sisters ever mentioned her, and he says they had an out-of-control loser younger sister. This makes Misty very angry.
Well, I mean, her sisters are kind of mean.
They're very mean. Then Dorian and Misty argue about who loves water Pokemon the most, and they agree to have a battle. Then we see Team Rocket back in their Magikarp sub, and it gets attacked by water Pokemon, and water starts filling in, and Team Rocket is sinking again in an off-again count.
Blah, 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 blah.
The battlefield for the gym is underwater as well, but this one's actually in the water, not in like a stadium that's just underwater.
Cool.
Then the gang see Team Rocket's submarine and recognize it as it floats by, so they all go up to meet it when it pops out of the water. Ash even knows what their plan is right away, that they're going to capture all the performing water Pokemon.
I mean, they always come up and are like, we're gonna capture all the Pokemon.
Well, sometimes it's just Pikachu.
Sometimes, but most of the time, if there's other Pokemon that have specialties, then Team Rocket wants them.
Yes. Ash and Dorian have their water Pokemon blast Team Rocket off again, and as they're flying, Meowth has a catching catchphrase telling James to blast off alone next time, and then Team Rocket's washed up again. Ding! Then Misty has a catching catchphrase where she says that one would think that all that blasting off would have taught them a lesson by now. Dorian is going to battle Misty, but Ash butts in and asks if he can have a battle first. It's reluctantly agreed to, and Ash loses.
It was rude of him to butt in.
Yep, it didn't last long, though. The trainers somehow can call out commands underwater with their little oxygen breather things in their mouths.
I kind of like the idea. It seems interesting.
I just don't know how they can say anything through those, but...
Yeah, it's weird.
After Ash's match, we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon lives deep underground in molten lava.
Magmar? That is a lava Pokemon, right? By lava, I meant like it's made out of lava. I meant like the lava snail without the shell.
Oh, Magcargo.
Magcargo, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that either. Which will also make sense. Now it is Misty versus Dorian, and it will be 3 versus 3. And I think it's the weird rules where each Pokemon exits after one is defeated.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, but they do that a lot. Misty calls out a Pokemon, but we get a Psyduck sighting as he appears and becomes instantly distressed being underwater. Then he's given an inflatable tube to rest inside the pool above the battlefield.
Oy, oy, oy.
First we have Quillfish versus Goldeen, and Quillfish wins. So then it's Mantine versus Corsola, and Corsola wins.
Yay.
It's a tie game. Unfortunately, Team Rocket is back at it with another busted bot. They dive into a modified motto.
Prepare for trouble, you're about to get poked.
And make a double after the way we got soaked.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
V is for victory, so don't you forget.
We'll be victorious and won't break a sweat.
Jesse!
James!
Team Rocket blasts off like a torpedo in flight.
Surrender now or prepare for a watery fight.
Dorian's Pokemon and Totodile get sucked in. When Corsola comes out, it knocks the arm up, which starts to suck down Psyduck, like the arm of the machine that's sucking in everything. Misty rushes in to save the poor Psyduck and is successful, but gets herself, Dorian, and Corsola sucked inside. Ash and Brock, along with Psyduck still out, go to find Team Rocket. Ash steps in to battle them, but Psyduck steps up looking very angry.
Uh-oh.
We get a distracted Pokemon Victory Bell, and then Psyduck looks back at the gang, confused. So he's like, it's all this cool moment, like he steps in like, I'm gonna take care of this for my Misty. Psy?
Oh my goodness.
When I noticed Psyduck was still out of the machine, I'm like, oh no, I think I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. However, because he's distracted and confused looking back at the gang, Arbok gets in there and bites him right on top of the head. And he also gets an onslaught of Razor Leaf from Victory Bell. Misty encourages Arbok to bite harder, which gets Psyduck a headache, and then we have the Levitating Confusion move, and a blast of Psychic, sending Team Rocket blasting off again. Ding! That was cool. Yeah, Psyduck kicks some butt.
Yeah, it's cool when Psyduck does
Yeah.
this big confusion thing.
Yeah.
You know? And then at the end, Dorian and Misty agree that it was a tie because he could have won, but he recognizes that Psyduck could have won against him if he'd been used. And then the gang is off toward New Bark once again. And trivia time. Now, this is sad trivia. Are you ready?
No.
No, we're never ready for sad things.
Apparently, this is the last time that Ash and company battle Victory Bell.
Oh no.
I don't know why. Where's Victory Bell going? What happens to him? I don't know. But this is the last time.
No
Okay.
more distracted Pokemon with Victory Bell.
I thought something was gonna die or something. I was like, what?
Maybe he does. I don't know.
Wait, a Pokemon can die in this show?
I highly doubt it.
I didn't know. Just sad means death.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Rhydon.
Who?
Rhyhorn's evolution? Big rhino thing?
What? That doesn't make sense at all.
It does. Just not what we expected.
Hey.
And our tally, we have a boss fantasy. We have 2 off-agains. We have 2 catching catchphrases. We have a Psyduck sighting, a busted bot, a modified motto, and a distracted Pokemon.
Wait.
Our last
Two
distracted
spots with their
Pokemon.
Magikarp machine.
No, Magikarp doesn't count.
What?
Our last distracted Victory Bell.
Yes, our last distracted Pokemon, Victory Bell, supposedly.
And we were talking about how funny it is that you just put Victory Bell, period.
Yeah, I know.
And no more of that.
Now it's time to rank it.
Alright.
I do have to say, it was fun that Misty got to have a gym battle, even though it's not an official gym.
Mm-hmm.
She deserves one.
Agreed.
I am probably gonna place it on number 10 on my list. So below Will the Real Professor Oak stand up, and above Beauty is Skin Deep.
Oh, okay. So, not a lot of room for me. I have to decide if it's better or worse than Fangs for Nothing. I think that Just Add Water is just below Fangs for Nothing, then.
Sounds good.
Does that seem fair to you?
Yes, I definitely think it goes.
Like, I enjoyed this episode, but it wasn't like a stellar one either, so.
No.
It was cool that it had connections to Misty's sisters and all that jazz. But...
Mm-hmm.
So that makes Just Add Water number 23 out of 47. And so the only episode that has broken our top 10 this week, I mean, honestly, I think maybe the last couple of weeks, is Great Bowls of Fire, which stole the number 1 spot, which kicked Just Waiting on a Friend outside of the top 10. Alright, so now it's time to pick the Pokemon that stood out for us this week in this group of episodes.
Hard choice. Oh, I decided.
Yeah, I've already decided to.
I did too. Please say that's the same one.
1, 2, 3.
Dragonair.
Why not? What?
Oh.
Why do you guys choose why not?
Because Dragonair was the cool Pokemon that did awesome stuff in multiple episodes.
I like Why Not and everything, but Dragonair takes it.
But why not? It's so
I
cute and
thought
funny.
Why Not might be somebody's pick, but I knew Dragonair was probably also a pick, and I was definitely going with Dragonair.
Yeah.
So you should just why not gets a Pokeball, right?
Correct.
Good. At least he gets something.
Yep, you get something. And this just shows the difference between what usually attracts us to things in the episodes and stuff. Not always, not a, like firm rule, but you look for humor more often, whereas we like a lot more of the cool actiony stuff.
Yep.
Although she has her weird hang-ups about Wobbuffets and Quagsires, so.
My
I'm surprised
weird
I'm
hang-ups.
surprised she didn't use why not because of those.
That's a good point, actually.
I can't believe I'm the only one who chose why not.
Dragonair was just so cool.
Yeah.
But why not was so funny. Why?
Dragonair
Why
was a stellar thing in these episodes. Anyway, so with Dragonair getting a Great Ball and Why Not getting a Pokeball, it is now time for us to move on to Pokemon cards.
Woo!
And as we complete this journey together, we will open our last 3 packs of Scarlet and Violet Journey Together. Flame, what are you opening this time?
N and Zorak?
I've got the exact same thing.
And mine has Hop with Zacian, whichever one Sword is. And the one who hasn't gone first yet is Ruby, so go ahead.
Ooh, I get to go first? Okay. I start with Squovik, colorless. Then Metang evolves from Beldum, psychic. Noibat, colorless. Sometimes he's a dragon. Rockruff, fighting. Ooh, Articuno, water.
Whoa!
It's just an uncommon. Trainer Stadium card, Postwick. Attacks used by Hop's Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance.
We have a couple of the cards that are beneficial for people using Hop Pokemon.
Or Ends. There was a card for End.
I think we have 2 different ones for Hop, plus this one now, so that's like 3 for Hop.
Oh, okay. Cloth, Fighting. Reverse Hollow, Magirna, Steel. Ability, Auto Heal. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, heal 90 damage from that Pokemon. My second Reverse Hollow, Alolan Geodude. Electric. Ooh. My rare 2-star evolves from Pillowswine. Mamoswine EX. Fighting type. Ability, Mammoth Hauler. Like hauling something, not like yelling. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Nice.
Then a Water Energy.
Alright, I have Q-Font, Metal type. Ooh, Sprigatito, Grass type. Ooh, okay, I got a Hops Silicobra, Fighting type. I got a Hops Pokemon, yay!
Yay!
Oh, I got Fungus, Grass type. I like Fungus and Amoongus. I have Iris's Fighting Spirit, Supporter Trainer card. You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. I have Octillery, evolves from Remoraid, Water type. That was one of our Who's That Pokemon. I have Wheezing, evolves from Coughing, Dark type. My first Reverse Hollow is Floragato, evolves from Sprigatito, Grass type.
Those are some nice cards.
My other Reverse Hollow is Toadscool, Fighting type. And my rare is Regirock, Fighting type. Ability, Rock Armor. If this Pokemon has any energy attached, it takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. Ooh, and then its attack actually says this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that is interesting.
And then I got a Grass type energy card from my Sprigatito line.
I just realized so you know how you were annoyed with the Water and Dragon type with Pikachu and stuff? Seadra or whatever?
Kingdra,
yeah. They could have been basing it off of Pokemon card mechanics instead, because each Pokemon card only has one type.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
I mean, there's evidence for that with the third movie. When they're using a computer at one point, it shows only so many of the Pokemon types, which were actually all the Pokemon types that were available in the card game at that time. They didn't have all the rest of the types. Anyway, your turn, Flame.
From my first card, I have Swinub, Fighting type.
Swinub.
What? I've always called him Swinub, though.
Yeah, but we learned it's Swinub.
Alright, and then I have a Psychic type Delmise. It's like an anchor Pokemon. It's like an anchor with a captain's
Ship wheel.
Yeah.
I love that Pokemon very much.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then I have a Supporter Trainer card, Black Belt Training. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. And then I have Shelmet, Grass type. Octillery, Water type.
Hey, he was one of our Who's That Pokemon.
We already went through that.
Evolves from Remoraid. I almost forgot to say that. Hops Cramorant. Lily's Pearl, Pokemon Tool Trainer. If Lily's Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your Pokemon, that player takes one less fewer prize card. They're gonna make it so that they take none.
Yep. Let me see it quick before you go on. No.
I like Lily's Pearl because me in the game, my name is Lily, and I have a fish named Pearl.
True that.
Mr. Mime, Psychic Reverse Hollow. And then Lilligant, a Grass type Reverse Hollow, evolves from Petilli. Ability, Sunny Day. Attacks used by your Grass Pokemon and Fire Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. Whoa. And then I have a full art card. Volcanion EX. Fire type. Double star. Scalding Steam. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burn. And then I have a fire type. Or fire energy for my basic energy.
All right, and that's a wrap on all our cards. So, Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and other podcasting platforms. So wherever you find us, go ahead and comment and like, subscribe, rate, review. Just love us, please. Or hate us. That's fine, too.
Oh, but I don't want them to hate us.
Well, that's up to them.
Oh, okay. Please don't hate us.
And we also are on YouTube at the Hunterfield Institute channel. Just look for the Routes Through Pokemon playlist. You can also find our latest episode rankings, tally counts, and the like on our Routes Through Pokemon Facebook page, where I also post there, and X and Instagram, a recurring segment of Who's That Pokemon, as I go over little details about Pokemon and their original Japanese names, as well as just engage in a few other things here and there. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's kinetic_card, and on X, it is at HunterfieldIns. You can also email us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com with any corrections to any mistakes we've made or extra comments and stuff. The only thing I ask is you don't spoil the future games and shows for us, as we are discovering much of it for the first time for ourselves. Next week, Ruby and I, with 8 gym badges pinned on, are headed to the Indigo Plateau for our second time, since that's also where we went in Red and Blue and Yellow. And there we are going to face off against the Elite Four and finally become the champions of Johto. Hopefully.
We are the champions, my friend.
And that episode will be the mark of our summer break. When that episode airs, then we will be off for a couple of months through the summer with maybe a few little extra fun, extra stuff thrown in. But we will then return after that with another Pokemon movie. Pokemon Heroes, Latios and Latias. So, thank you so much for listening to our adventures and journey and coming along with us. And we will catch you on the next route. Bye-bye.
Bye. Adios.
Part 45. 150 or more to see. Violet's mouth hung open as she stared at the two sisters. She was starstruck to learn that she had been rescued by the most recent Indigo League champion, Rosella Ratchet, and her older sister, Ruby.
So, why are you here? In Vermilion?
We're leaving Kanto.
Rosella said.
What? Why? Well,
Ruby started.
we've caught almost every Pokemon that is known here, and
we have a friend who's been finding new ones in Johto. So we're going to see if there's even more different Pokemon out in the world.
more kinds of Pokemon?
Violet asked. Then her mind stumbled upon a memory of Mount Moon and the pink-haired girl. She had Pokemon with her Violet had never read about.
So, there are more than 146 Pokemon out there?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's at least 149 in Kanto, with the legendary birds.
Yeah, but they don't really exist, right? They're just legend?
Ruby shrugged.
It is possible they do, but
Oh no, they definitely do. I saw one.
we don't know if that was...
Yes, I do. There's no way it wasn't Moltres. Nothing else in that cave could have been burning that bright and emitting that much heat.
Ruby held up her hands in surrender.
Okay. In any case, yes, there are more Pokemon out there. Another trainer from our town has found at least 10 new types of Pokemon in Johto. Wow.
Violet breathed.
I have a lot of catching up to do.
You're well on your way.
Rosella encouraged.
After you face Lieutenant Surge, you have what? 3 badges? That's almost halfway.
Violet dropped her head.
No. I actually skipped Cerulean City's gym. I've only got a Boulder Badge.
You skipped a gym?
Rosie, that's rude.
The older sister offered a sympathetic glance.
Did you not feel ready for that battle? No, it's not like that.
Violet looked up.
Well, I've been having a lot of trouble with a group of criminals called the Rocket Team or Rocket League or something.
This got the attention of both the sisters.
You mean Team Rocket?
Ruby asked. Violet's eyes locked on Ruby's.
Yeah, maybe that's their name. But how do you know them? I only ever learned of their existence when I first went through Mount Moon.
Taking a deep breath, Rosella began to explain.
They're a really evil group. I don't know a lot about what they do, but I know they experiment on Pokemon and use them as tools. They don't care if they hurt them or even kill them.
Our professor, Professor Thistle, and his partner used to work for them. He told us a little.
Ruby added.
But then we saw it firsthand, too. When we were in Lavender Town, we saw...
It was Rosella's turn to fall quiet as her gaze dropped.
They killed a Pokemon. What?
Violet exclaimed.
Why?
Poor Cubone,
Rosella muttered.
They killed a Cubone?
Violet couldn't believe what she was hearing.
No, a Marowak.
Ruby answered.
It was trying to protect the Cubone from Team Rocket. They were trying to steal their skulls. That's awful.
And then?
Rosella looked back, her eyes aflame.
Then they tried to recruit me. Can you believe that? As if I would join those.
Ruby placed a hand on Rosella's shoulder, and the younger girl trailed off and took a deep breath.
They're even worse than I thought.
Violet said.
They tried to steal my Pokemon and nearly killed me. But I thought that was more of an accident. And since then, they have come after me several more times. Most recently in Cerulean, where I had to jump out of a window to get away. What's worse is I had to leave my horsey behind since it was still in the nurse's care.
Oh, that's not a big deal.
Not a big deal? She was my starting partner, and I just left her alone, and who knows when I'll get her back?
Rosella tilted her head quizzically.
But you could just have them transport the Pokemon here.
What?
The Pokemon centers. They all have ways of quickly sending Pokemon from one center to another. You could just pick up your horsey here.
Really?
Yep.
That's wonderful news!
Rosella grinned.
Glad I could help.
All right, Rosie. I think that's enough. This girl needs some rest, and we need to get to the boat. It leaves in just a couple of hours.
Right. Okay. Well, it was nice to meet you.
Violet.
Maybe we'll run into you in the future.
The two sisters started gathering their things.
Oh,
Ruby said before they walked out the door.
if you're heading in to face Lieutenant Surge, just know he uses electric-type Pokemon. I don't know if you have anything to counter that, but there's a cave not far outside of town. Plenty of Diglett live there. Maybe catch one of them to help you out in earning that badge. Thanks for the advice. I might just do that.
With a few more farewells, the Ratchet sisters were gone, and Violet was left in a now very quiet room. Her head felt like it could relax, and the headache began to subside a little. Violet wanted to get moving and collect Mizu, but her ankle still hurt, and the headache wasn't completely gone. The bed looked very welcoming, and so she shuffled back to it, crawled in, and drifted off back to sleep. To be continued.